This is MacVoices TV. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner, and this is MacVoices TV at BlogWorld in Las Vegas. And I've run across my buddy Joe Klein. I haven't talked to him since Macworld in San Francisco this year, and here you are, and now you're elevated to the official announcer of BlogWorld. Congratulations.
Well, thanks so much. You're MacVoices, and I'm the voice of the 2009 BlogWorld and New Media Expo. Personally appointed by Rick Calvert himself just days ago. No, just hours ago.
Hours? Well,
no, I'm kidding. Actually, Rick put me on about 2 weeks ago to be kind of the announcer of the show and spice things up a little bit. I'm announcing the afternoon keynotes.
Yeah, and I saw you do it yesterday with Chris Brogan. You got the crowd warmed up, and this afternoon you're going to do it for Leo Laporte.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Rick had this idea, that again, he's kind of wanting the show to go a little bit more media Hollywood as new media and mainstream media merge and become, more as one. So Rick called me a couple of weeks ago and said, hey, Joe, we've got this idea. We'd like to have an announcer, for our afternoon keynotes. And would you be interested in doing it? So I thought about it for about 5 or 6 seconds, and I said, well, why the hell not, man? After all, I'm New Media Joe. That's my new handle now. I've gone from being Joe Klein to New Media Joe, which of course gets my company name, New Media Creative, in there a little bit.
Absolutely. And there's a big message that I've been hearing in a lot of the sessions today, and that is that audio is so important to all the productions, video or audio productions. That's one of the critical pieces. And I keep thinking...
Bless your heart.
Yeah. Well, I keep thinking of what you do. You add that voice talent to events like this and to the other projects you do, and that's what you've done for your entire career.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and thank you very much, and you're very kind to say that. And, I'm involved in video production as well, but audio for my whole life has always been my specialty. And, all too often we see that audio, we talked about this a little bit last year, that audio will tend to take a back seat when video comes along. For a couple of years there, audio podcasts were the big deal, and it was just before the YouTube days, and audio was becoming a pretty big thing. Then YouTube came along, and audio started to take a back seat. One of the big problems with audio is with all these great new ultra small cameras like the Flip and whatever, they don't have a darn mic input. They have a little onboard mic, and the audio is terrible. So what a lot of my friends are doing is recording the audio on a separate high quality audio recorder, doing a little clapper to sync up the audio, and then syncing up the audio later to get better quality. I think that's one thing where we need to make a little bit of strides. The camera makers have got to at least allow for when you want a little higher quality audio to have a microphone input plug, just the way the car manufacturers are finally having USB connectors and auxiliary in connectors for audio iPods and what have you. But audio is very important. You're absolutely right. And we have ears as well as eyes. And when you have good audio and good video synced up together, and a wacky announcer on occasion like myself, mixed in with all the new media content, I think it makes for a great mix that really makes the whole end project, the end product, more interesting.
There's no question about it. Now, when we talked in San Francisco, your company was just sort of evolving. You were kind of getting into the consulting space and sort of working it out. How's it going? Because you're one of those guys that constantly reinvents himself and
on an hourly basis, I might.
If necessary. So how is it going, and what exactly are you doing right now with New Media Creative?
Well, thanks for asking. Well, as we all know, the last year has been particularly challenging for everybody with the economy. Budgets have been slashed. People have been tightening their belts in every way possible. As we all know, it's looking like we're turning the tide a little bit here. It looks like we might have hit bottom and things are starting to turn around. Although I got to say that, we've had continued interest from the entire space when it comes to new media, particularly in the areas of SEO and affiliate marketing, blog marketing, and the likes, because let's face it, no matter where the economy is, people still want to be marketing products any way they can, and more mainstream companies are evolving and moving into the new media space in lots of places. So actually, in a way, the problems with the economy have been kind of good for us in the whole new media space, because what it's done is a lot of these companies now, by necessity, are being forced to look for alternative, less expensive ways to promote their product. And what better way to do that is through social networking, new media, affiliate marketing, blog marketing, the like. So we've been making some real good strides in that space. We have an associate named Brett Humeter, who's a real expert when it comes to those areas that I was just explaining to you, SEO and blog and affiliate marketing. And we're making some nice strides in that area. But all in all, I think it's really looking up, and I'm really very thankful and that the new media space is there, because I think the new media space is kind of acting as a catalyst to carry us through this recession and the hard times we've been experiencing over the last year and a half.
Judging by some of the sponsors here at Blog World and things I've been hearing on the show floor, outside the show floor, in the sessions, I think people are finally starting to get it, that this targeted media that we all produce is a very valid, very important way to go, instead of just slapping something in a print magazine and hoping that the right audience will read it. This way they can zero right in, laser in to exactly who they want to try to reach.
Absolutely. One of the most appealing factors about new media, social networking, blogging, particularly for advertisers, is, and it always has been, even all the way back to podcasting several years ago, is that targeted aspect of the audience. You've got a highly focused targeted audience that in many cases is passionately interested about what your podcast or your blog or your video blog is all about, your show. And yes, I feel that the targeting, this media targeting, this new media targeting is becoming so very, very important, because advertisers want a maximum bang for their buck. They want results. Now, of course, this is taking all of our models about CPM and everything and kind of throwing them out the window. I mean, or if you want to take a CPM model, you have to sometimes multiply the CPM times 10 or 100 or even 1,000, because the end result of the viewer, the response you're going to get from your viewers is going to be, radically different than if you were just on, traditional terrestrial radio or television. So, yes, I totally feel that the targeting of the audience is such a absolute integral and vital part of the new media space, because sure, your audience is smaller, but the audience that's listening to you or viewing you or both is passionate about what they're watching and listening to, and they're far more likely to respond to advertising and to messages and endorsements. I mean, Leo Laporte is a perfect example of that, man. I mean, people listen to his every word. This guy stops and takes a break from whatever show he's doing, whether it's This Week in Tech or Windows Weekly or This Week in Google, and starts to talk about one of his sponsors. And I mean, I've watched people listening to his show or watching his show on Twit Live or whatever. People just love the ads. They love to hear Leo talking about things that he's interested in and products that he really believes in. So, yeah, targeted marketing is, in my opinion, one of the most exciting aspects of the whole new media space.
Joe, your passion for it shows, obviously.
Thanks.
How do people contact you? Where do they go to find out more about tapping into the expertise you've developed and what you're doing?
Thanks so much for asking. My company, New Media Joe, is my new handle now. I am Joe Klein, but New Media Joe is kind of the name I'm going by. Don't even ask me why. I just like it. And the company, probably because it ties in with the company name, and the company's name is New Media Creative. And you can find us online. We've got a company site. We've got a company blog at newmediacreative.com. Get right to the blog by going to newmediacreative.com/blog. And New Media Joe, we're developing a blog page for New Media Joe, a separate blog page within that company domain. But for the time being, we're also on Twitter. I'm on Twitter as New Media Joe, at New Media Joe. The company's on Twitter as well as at New Media Creative, but without the E on the end, because there wasn't enough characters in Twitter. So that would be New Media Creative, but Creativ, all one word, no E on the end. That's where you can find us. And one last thing I did want to say that we're really excited about, and that Rick Calvert really wanted me to mention, the CEO of this show, is we got a real special closing keynote program planned for tomorrow afternoon. We're calling it the BlogWorld Expo Closing Keynote Show with Guy Kawasaki. And it's going to be a very special closing keynote event that's going to have Guy Kawasaki from alltop.com, very well-known technical evangelist from your world.
Absolutely.
And he's going to be having some special guests, and it's going to be a really unusual keynote, kind of unlike anything you've ever seen at one of these conferences before. We're really excited about that.
Okay, now wait a minute. Guy Kawasaki is heading it up, and you're announcing it. So it's got to be right completely off the hook just to start with?
Yes, I would just say it's going to be, off the hook. I mean, let's just put it this way. It's going to be no Tonight Show, but it's going to be a lot more exciting in a lot of different ways and definitely a lot more unpredictable.
Joe, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much. Good to see you.
Thank you. Blog on, everybody, and enjoy Blog World and the entire blogosphere space.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices TV at Blog World in Las Vegas. That was Joe Klein. He's going to go warm up his vocal cords for his next announcing gig. Until the next time, check out MacVoices.tv. Thanks for watching. MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.